Real 911 calls that will keep you up at night. Introduction, the voice in the dark. You hear a click, then a breath. A faint voice trembles over the line. 911, what's your emergency? And then, nothing. Just silence. But not the peaceful kind. The kind that presses against your eardrums, so thick and chilling that it feels like something is watching you from the other side of the phone line. Waiting. Behind every 911 call is a story. Some are heroic, some are tragic, but a few, a rare, terrifying few, sound like the opening to a horror film you never want to star in. Except they're real. Real people. Real screams. Real endings that don't always come with closure. These are the 911 calls that live in the minds of dispatchers forever. The kind that haunt them at night. The kind that remind us sometimes evil is only a phone call away. Case 1. He's dead. It starts like many others. A man whispers into the phone. He's hiding, breathing hard. You can hear the fear in his voice. There's someone in the house. I think they broke in. I'm in the closet. The dispatcher tries to keep him calm, asks him to stay quiet and give his address. The man whispers it slowly, trembling. Then there's a pause, a shift in the energy, and a different voice whispers into the phone. He's dead. And the call cuts. Officers arrive. They find the front door ajar, but the house is empty. No sign of struggle, no body, no man. Just a closet door, wide open, with a phone lying on the floor. That voice wasn't the caller. It came from someone else. Someone who had picked up the phone. To this day, the man is still missing. Neighbors later reported hearing footsteps on their roofs that night, but no one saw anyone leave. The back door was locked from the inside, windows untouched. His car still sat in the driveway, keys in the ignition. Phone records show the call lasted only 2 minutes, but a second voice was never identified. Police reviewed the audio countless times. That final whisper, it didn't match any known vocal pattern. Case 2, the little girl and the bad man. The call begins with a soft, shaky voice. Hi, my mommy won't wake up. There's a bad man in the house. I'm hiding. She's no older than 7. The dispatcher gently tries to keep her talking, asks where she is. She says she doesn't know. Then, he's walking up the stairs now. Please don't let him find me. You can hear her breathe faster, a creak of wood in the background. Her whisper, he's at the door. She gasps, then silence. The call continues for 5 more minutes. You can hear faint breathing, but not hers. And then, the line disconnects. What happened to her? Police have never confirmed. They say the house was empty when they arrived. No signs of anyone there. The tape was never made public, but dispatchers say that call still haunts them, because the worst part wasn't the girl's fear. It was the voice they heard breathing after she was gone. That breath wasn't rushed. It was steady, calm, as if someone was listening. Some dispatchers say they heard a faint humming, like a lullaby, just before the line cut. The girl was never found. No missing child report matched her voice. The address she gave didn't exist, but the call came from somewhere nearby. And on the recording, just before it ends, a deep whisper says, "Found you." Case 3. Something in the room. There's someone in my room, the woman says. I can hear breathing. I'm under the bed. The dispatcher speaks calmly. Stay on the line. Officers are coming, the woman whispers. I don't want to move. It's just standing there. I can't see its face. Minutes pass. The breathing gets louder. She says she thinks it's crouching. It knows I'm here. Then, it's looking under the bed. The dispatcher shouts her name. No response. When officers finally arrive, they find the bed empty. But the bed skirt, torn from the inside. Her phone, under the bed. Her, never seen again. In the recording's final seconds, something faint can be heard, like nails dragging across wood. A neighbor swore she heard knocking on her wall around the same time. Police dogs refused to enter the room, whining, backing away. The mirror on the wall had a single handprint, small, upside down, and beneath the bed, carved into the floorboards, was one word: mine. Case 4. the man at the edge of the yard. A woman calls 911, voice trembling. There's a man standing in my yard, just standing, under the streetlight. He's been there for over 20 minutes. The dispatcher asked for a description. I can't see his face, but I think he's smiling. Moments later, she gasps. He's walking, not running, just walking toward my house. Then a loud crash, glass shattering. The line goes dead. Police arrive within minutes. The front doors open, windows smashed from the outside, but no one is inside. Every photo in the house has been removed from its frame and stacked neatly in the basement. Nothing was stolen, except her. Case 5, the boy in the bathroom. Someone broke in, a young boy says. He's crying. They hurt mom and dad. I locked me and my sister in the bathroom. The dispatcher keeps him on the line. Don't be scared, help is coming. Then you hear it, a scraping sound, like fingernails across the bathroom door. The boy sobs. They're trying to get in. Please, please. Then silence, but not total silence. You can hear breathing. Then the phone clicks off. When officers arrived, the bathroom was empty. No boy, no sister, just the phone, still warm. Case 6, the whisperer. 911 receives a call from a number linked to a home in rural Ohio, but no one answers. Then after a minute of static, he's in the walls, whispered, barely audible. The dispatcher repeats, can you say that again? More static. He watches when I sleep. The call disconnects. Police arrive. No one is home, but the attic, filled with dozens of audio recorders, all turned on, all playing whispers in different voices, saying the same phrase, he's in the walls. To this day, no one knows who made the call or who he is. Case 7, the babysitter call. A teenage girl calls from a house she's babysitting at. There's someone outside. I saw them through the window. The dispatcher stays with her. She locks the doors, turns off the lights. Then a knock at the back door. She whispers, he's wearing a mask, just standing there. Then pounding, and then silence. Hello? The dispatcher says. The girl whispers, I think he's in the house. The call ends with a scream. When police arrive, the house is empty, but written on the mirror in red marker, good babysitters don't hang up. Why these calls haunt us? Not because of the gore, not because of the mystery, but because of what we hear. The gasp before a scream, the slow, creeping footsteps, the breath that shouldn't be there. They remind us that safety is an illusion, that the walls we build to keep out the dark aren't as strong as we think. And worst of all, they make us ask one terrifying question. What if the call was never supposed to be answered? The psychology behind the fear. Real 911 calls tap into our deepest primal fears. Being watched, being trapped, being helpless, hearing something that doesn't belong. These calls don't let us look away because they aren't fiction. They're raw terror caught in real time. And sometimes the silence says more than any scream ever could. The dispatcher's burden. Imagine hearing the final words of someone's life and being powerless to stop it. Dispatchers carry that burden. Calls like these linger, not because of what they could do, but because of what they couldn't. They're the last voice people hear before the end, and sometimes they're the only ones who hear what really happened. Listen closely. If these stories disturbed you, good. It means you're still human. It means you can still feel fear, still understand how fragile the veil between normal and nightmare truly is. Tonight, before you sleep, check your doors. Look out your window and remember the scariest stories aren't told by monsters. They're told by real people, one whisper at a time. Like this video. Subscribe for more stories that walk the line between reality and nightmare. And hit that bell icon because the next one, it might be worse. Until then, stay safe, And if you hear something strange in the middle of the night, just pray it's nothing.